Hello everyone, I am Durga Saujanya, Assistant Professor from Department of ECE, MLR Institute of Technology. I am going to give the video lectures for the subject Embedded System Design. Our today's topic is Embedded Tools 2. So this comes under Unit 3. So the tools used for embedded software. So in the previous session, we have discussed what are the tools available for our embedded systems. That is software tools and hardware tools. So in the software tools, we have discussed about the software tools in the previous session. So what are the software tools available for our embedded software? So those are the compiler, linker, assembler, interpreter, debugger. So these are all the tools we have discussed in the previous session. So now we are going to discuss about some other tools in the same embedded software tools. So the first one is locator, and how can we use the locator, the common types of bugs used for debugger, and cross compiler, cross assembler, and tool chains for embedded software. Now going to the present session, the first one is locator. So locator is a tool that performs the conversion from relocatable program to executable binary image. So it is a tool for converting the relocatable program to executable binary image. So in the previous session we have discussed about the linker. So linker is used for linking all the object files of the programs used in our application. So whatever the programs linked up to all the programs linked up to main program. So all library files, standard library files like include register51.h or stdio.h, math.h. So like that. So all the library files and all individual program files used for that, individual program files used in our application. So there are so many function files are there. So for each .c file, so we have one object file. So this linker will link up all these library files, all these object files into one file. So convert all these files and change that into one file. So that object file is called as binary image file. So that binary image file is located in the memory. So that is called as relocatable program. So here this locator is used for converting this relocatable file into the binary image. So here it assigns a physical memory addresses to code and data sections within the relocatable program. So based on the data used in our program, so the code part used in our program, we need to assign some memory to our program. So the code part will be moved to the ROM and data part will be stored in the RAM. So here the locator will assign particular memory locations to this program. So from this memory location to this memory location will be allotted to that particular program by the locator. So this locator produces a binary image that can be loaded into the target ROM. So once the binary image is created, so once it is loaded into the target machine, so it cannot be modified. So because it is the programmer level application program only, so it cannot be modified by any user. So therefore, once it is loaded into the target machine, it cannot be modified. So before that creating the binary image related to that, we need to check thoroughly about that binary image. So this locator will produces that binary image which is loaded into the target machine. So in contrast, the operating system assigns addresses to each process or each instruction. So the memory information required by this linker can be passed to in the linker script. So here whatever the memory information, that means so for these object files, so for which object file which memory will be allocated, so from which location to which location it is allocated. So either whether ROM memory is allotted or RAM is allotted. So all these details will be included in the script file. So the locator will pass the script file which consists of all the details about the memory allocation for the given object file. So these scripts are used for controlling the exact order of the code and data sections within the relocatable program. So in the relocatable program, so these scripts are used for assigning the memory to data and code part and controlling all the program part of the code and data. Next one is locator script file. So the locator script file, here this is the example for locator script file. So this is the RAM memory origin, this is the ROM memory origin, that is, so for this object file, the ROM is started from this location, the RAM is started from this location and ROM is started from this location. And for the data, here it initialized the data, and here, so this data part is assigned for the RAM. So therefore this part is assigned to the RAM, and this part is, so this text part, this is also assigned to the RAM. Here how much memory will be allocated for the ROM and RAM is, here for RAM it uses the 64 megabytes for that particular object file. So and 16 megabytes for ROM. So that means for code part, the 16 megabytes memory will be allotted for that object file, and for data part, the 64 megabytes will be allotted regarding that object file. So here this is the example for development, embedded system development. So first we have to write the C program or assembly program. So next it will be given to the compiler. So it converts this high level language program or assembly language program into the machine program. After checking all the errors, it creates some object file. So this object file is given to the linker. So this linker, it adds all the object files of all the .c files. So we have one object file for one .c file. Therefore all these object files and all the library files are linked in the linker, and they create one relocatable object file from all these files. So this relocatable object file will be given to the locator. So in this locator, it will assign memory to this relocatable object file, that means ROM for code part and RAM for data part. So after allocating the memory to these files, the final executable image will be developed by the locator. So the script informs the built-in locator about the memory on the target board. So here in the target board, so 64 megabytes of RAM, in the previous example we have seen that. So this is the 64 megabytes of memory for RAM, 16 megabytes of memory for ROM. So here in the target board, 64 megabytes of RAM will be allotted and 16 megabytes of ROM will be allotted for this application. So the linker script use various commands to direct the linker to perform other operations. So the output of this is a binary image which contains the physical addresses for the embedded system. So this binary image consists of the physical addresses, that is RAM origin address and ROM origin address, and how much memory will be allotted for these memories. So those all will be included in this binary image. So this executable binary image can be downloaded to the embedded system or programmed into a memory chip. So for the target system, so this executable binary image is downloaded into the target system and that is bound into the hardware with this procedure. So the process which is used for downloading this executable binary image from the host machine to the target machine. So that means from the host machine we are collecting the binary image, and this binary image is downloaded into the target machine. So which is called as, this process is called as burning of software into the hardware. Cross compiler. Cross compiler means the program which is developed for one platform, so which is for host machine if one platform is used for host machine and if another platform is designed for target machine. So that means if Windows is the platform used for host machine and Android is the platform used for target machine. So for two different platforms, if the program which is developed for one platform, so will be run on the another platform also, then we have to use the cross compiler. So cross compiler means it is used for run the program which is developed for another platform. So cross compiler runs on the host system and produces binary instructions that is understood by the target microprocessor. So it is capable of creating executable code which is written for one platform other than the compiler which is running in the another platform. So that means the code is developed for one platform but run on the another platform. So then this cross compiler will develop the binary image file or object image file. So then most desktop systems are used as hosts, come with compilers, assemblers, linkers that will run on the host. So these are called as native tools. So that means whatever the platform which is used for host and target are same. If the same platform will be used for both host and target, so that means whatever the platform which is designed for desktop systems just like Windows or Intel Pentium processor, and if the target machine is also having the same platform processor, so then the compilers, assemblers, linkers which are used for development of the program and running the program, so is known as native tools. So suppose a native compiler on a Windows NT system is based on the Intel Pentium. So that means if the compiler, it is a native compiler, so that means it is designed for Intel Pentium processor. If in the target machine also, if we have used the same processor, then it is possible to generate the image file by that compiler, so which is called as native compiler. So if the target processor is Motorola or Zilog, so then it will not generate the image file or object image file or binary executable image file. So this is called as native compiler. So the cross compiler that runs on the host system and produces the binary instructions understood by your target microprocessor. So that means if we write the C++ code or C code for a host machine, so which is having the Windows operating system, so and if we have run that program in the target machine which is having the Android operating system, so then it could compile the program in that operating system also. So then it is called as cross compiler. Next one is cross assemblers. So cross assembler here. So first we need to discuss about the errors occurred due to the cross compilers. Here, as we have seen in the previous slide, that is the cross compiler is used for executing the program or developing the binary image file for the program run on another platform. So that means if the function declaration for the host machine platform and the target machine platform is different, so then we may get error in the cross compiler. And if the size of the host machine and size of the target machine, size means here the memory size. So the memory allocation size or the memory size of the host machine and target machine is different. So then also we may get error in the cross compiler. So then the data structures may be different in two machines. So if the data structures allotted for, that means the stack memory and other structures or variables which are assigned for host machine and target machine are different, so then also we will get the error in the cross compiler. And ability to access 16 and 32-bit entries at two machines. So that means if the host machine is a 16-bit machine, so it will allow the data up to 16 bits only, but if the target machine is a 62-bit machine, so that means it will allow the data up to 32-bit. So that means the data bus width of the two machines will be different. So then also we will get the cross compiler errors in the cross compiler. So these are the errors occurred in the cross compiler. Next, go for the cross assemblers and tool chains. So cross assembling is nothing but if the target system cannot run on the assembler itself. So that means if the target system does not have any assembler for itself and it will depend on the assembler of another platform, so then we call that as cross assembler. So the cross assembling is necessary if the target system cannot run on an assembler itself. So it is a program that runs on the host machine, produces the binary instructions appropriate for the target. So the input to the cross assembler is assembly language file and the output is binary file. The cross assembler is just like another assembler, but it runs on the CPU which is having the platform 1, which runs on the CPU which is having another platform. The tool chain for building the embedded software. So these are the tools. Just till now we have discussed so many tools are there. So this is the tool chain which is used for building the embedded software. Here first we have to develop a C file, .c file. So which is called as our program file. So whatever the source code we want to write for our application, so that main program file, so is the .c file. So and if any subprograms are related to this main file, that is the function files, or called as some other files. So these are the number of C files required for that particular application, and these are given for cross compiler. So from the cross compiler we will get the object files. So that means it will check any syntax error or any memory errors or any errors occurred in the main program or not. If no errors are occurred, so it will generate an object file for error-free code of our main program. So after generating the object files, it is given to the linker. So here in the linker, so here for the linker we have given the assembly files also. So in the same way, the assembly language files are given to cross assembler. From the cross assembler, the object files are generated and are given to the linker or locator. Here this linker is used to link all these object files with the library files. So in our embedded program, which are called as header files, .h files. Right, these are all given to the linker. So the linker will combine all these files into one image file, which is relocatable image file, and is given to the locator for allocating some memory for this program. So after assigning the RAM memory locations and ROM memory locations to those current program, so those are given to the locator. This locator, after allocating the memories, it will generate executable file. So this is the executable file which is called as binary image for that particular application. So this binary image is generated by the host machine. So these are all will be done in the host machine. So after generating the executable file, it is given to the target system. So this target system will give the result for our application. So it will be used for our real-time application. So in real-time scenarios, we have used this target system for getting our application. So here it shows the process of building software for embedded system. Here the output files from each tool become input files for the next. So here this is the input file for cross compiler and this is the output file for cross compiler. So this output file becomes as an input file to the linker file. So from the linker, so the output file is executable file. So this output file becomes the input file to the target system. So because of this, the tools must be compatible with each other. All the tools must be compatible with each other. a set of tools which are compatible with all the tools used in that embedded software are known as tool chain. So the set of tools used in that development of this software program or embedded software is known as tool chain. So this tool chain will runs on various hosts and builds the programs for various targets. So these can be used on different host systems and different target systems. So in this session we have discussed the summary of previous session, and in present session we have discussed what is meant by locator, what is meant by locator script file, what are the common types of bugs occurred in the compiler, locator, and what is meant by cross compiler. So what are the errors occurred in the cross compiler? So what is the cross assembler, and what is the tool chain used for building any embedded software? So these are the topics covered in the present session. Thank you.